Hey guys, just giving you another update here. I know it's been a while since I made a video. Had a bunch of stuff I had to get done around the house, so now that that's done I can get back on the car. I didn't get much work done on it. I did get the left side injectors and coil harnesses all ran. I didn't close anything up yet because I'm still waiting for the throttle body. So once I get that, I can run the other circuits that go there for the TP and the IAC motor. So yeah, once I get that, then that'll get all closed in along with the alternator circuit. So what I'm going to be doing now is going to be hooking up my fuse block, well, my distribution center. I decided I'm just going to make my own. I figure that would be the easiest and cheapest way to do it. That way I can build it exactly to what I need. I don't have to buy something through another company that try to make that work. So what I did here was I cut this piece out, and I'm going to build a panel that will sit up in this area here. It will be a little bit away from the firewall. The reason I'm doing this is because I didn't want everything's mounted to the firewall, and then on the other side you see all the screws and everything holding it on. So I figure if I can make everything to a panel, and then I can weld some tabs to mount this to the firewall, I think that'll be the easiest. So let me show you what I've got done so far. So I cut it out on a piece of backer board. That's this here. I got kind of the layout where I want. Picked up a junction block here, so this is going to bring the battery and the ignition feed right into here, and then I can disperse it out to where I want it. These relay centers here, they hold six fuses on each one, so I got about 12 circuits so far. I'm leaving the space because I think I'm going to need another one. Probably eventually will once I start wiring inside the car. I can just pick right up off this panel here. I got my relays laid out. My 3 relays for my cooling fans. I've got my AC compressor clutch relay, and I ran in an additional one just because my ECM and the program that I'm using, I will not be able to use an AC request signal to the ECM for the ECM to turn on the cooling fans when the AC is on. So I've got to run my own control for the cooling fans when I turn the air on. So that's what this is for. This one here is going to be the starter relay, and this is going to be the fuel pump relay. Once I get these all mounted, I'll label everything real nice. Same thing here. I may even make a sticker for on here, and then that way I can label which each fuse is for. So basically, right now this will power up everything in the engine harness. This will power up all my relays, stuff like that. So I haven't picked up my meg fuse yet, but I'm going to run a 175 meg fuse from the battery to here, and then from the mega fuse right inside the box here. So that's what I got about so far. So what I'm going to do now is get everything mounted to this panel, and then I'll do a dry fit in there. I might relocate where the engine harness goes in, just out of the way of this panel. I did pick up a pass-through grommet, so that'll work out pretty good. So I'll show you guys when I get to the next stage. Okay guys, I got everything secured to this backing plate. What I've done now is I started wiring up my fuse block feeds. I'm having 2 fuse block relays that are going to be powered with ignition, and then I got one that's going to be dedicated for battery feed. So what I did there is inside this distribution block I'm going to have 2 power wires come in, one battery and one ignition feed. I'm probably going to use one of these as a dedicated ground circuit as well. But when I hook up the power to this, I'll run jumpers to whatever ones I want, powered battery, and then the same thing with the ignition fed ones. So basically that's going to be it here. First circuit I'm going to be starting on is the cooling fan operation. Try to do this so it stays clear, but here's the ECM. These are the two wires that are coming off the ECM control. It's going to control the ground side of the relays. This circuit here is going to actually be spliced to feed the two relays, and then the other one's going to be to run that one. I altered it a little bit. I installed this other one just so I can control the cooling fans when I turn the air conditioning on. The reason why I can't use the computer to control the fans when I turn the AC on is because the ECM requires a data signal from the HVAC control module, and there's no way I can duplicate that signal. So I'm just going to run it separate from the ECM, but it's still going to be fully automatic when I turn it on. The AC pressure switches will do their job and cycle it automatically with no problems at all. It's just I need the cooling fans to turn on when I activate the AC. So that's the only thing I had to change there. So this is the AC compressor schematic, which I altered to what I'm going to do. So that'll be that, and then I got the fuel pump control, and then the starter relay. So so that's basically it. I'll put it in the car just to show you how it's exactly going to fit up in under here. Like I said, I'm going to make some mounting tabs for this to sit up in here. But basically it's going to sit. It's hard to see with the dash and everything in the way, but it's up out of the way. And I think it'll work good. I'll mount the ECM probably up on this corner here, but I got to make sure I'm not going to run into interference with my AC lines or the heater hoses or anything like that. But yeah, there's still a ton of room under there, so if I can, if I need to put it somewhere else, I got room. So that's where I'm at now. I'll get some more of these relays hooked up, get everything to where they're supposed to be in certain fuses and stuff. Each one of them use that cooling fan uses a 40 amp fuse for the one relay, 10 amp fuse for the other one, and another 40 amp fuse. So I bought a bunch of fuses, different amp fuses, so I'll be able to work that in. Now, I don't normally put down other people's videos, but there is a couple videos out there, people doing the LS swap into the old cars, and they're making it sound pretty good the way they do the wiring. They take the whole engine harness and they say they can make it into a 4-wire hookup, being one feed, one ground, and then the ignition, and then whatever. So what basically they're doing, I'll show you over here, is they're taking this whole bundle of ignition and feed wires and they're splicing it all together into one wire, and then they connect that to a fuse or to a battery or whatever. I strongly recommend you guys don't do that. Simple fact that if this circuit is protected by a 10 amp fuse and you bundle all these together and connect it to a battery, or even say, you know, 80 amp fuse, this wire is going to melt before it pops an 80 amp fuse. So picture this thing glowing inside of a harness surrounded by a bunch of other wire. It's just going to fuse fuse the whole harness together. Probably catch your car on fire, and if your car's in your garage is attached to the house, you can see the effect on that. I mean, it's not that much to run proper fuses. I mean, you're already in it this far. I mean, why chimp out on something that's that important, you know? I mean, there's, you know, I counted at least 12 plus what I'm adding, and there's going to be probably about 15, 16 circuits in this thing. And basically the circuit feeding this is going to be protected by a 170 amp fuse, and then these are going to feed the ignition and battery fuse blocks. So if something happens here, this fuse will pop. All the other circuits are going to be protected by these fuses that pop inside here. So if there's a fault on a single circuit, the fuse will blow, and I'm not going to have a meltdown somewhere. So I mean, I just hope nobody follows that procedure when they doing the wiring. I mean, yes, it works. Yeah, you can get the car running, run all your stuff like that, but I mean, all you need is a short to ground somewhere, and there you have it. I mean, you're gonna have a damaged wiring. Probably have to change the whole harness, because that thing's just gonna light up, glow, melt the sheeting off, and then it's gonna short all the other wires that are connected, that are surrounded by it. So I would definitely recommend not doing that. But to each its own, I guess. But anyways, I'm going to get some of these circuits hooked up, and then I'm going to have to come up with some type of a labeling system here before I go too far, because I'm going to need to know what is what, and doing it now is fine, but tomorrow I may forget. So I'll probably just draw it up on a piece of paper. Same thing I have here, and label everything, and then that way I can refer back to it until I get my real label made and get that mounted somewhere, or keep it somewhere where I can refer back to it. So, but alright, till I get some more here, I'll show you when I get there.